Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Back on the topic of the NFL today. Jay and I are going to be predicting the Cleveland Browns record in 2021. And don't forget, the NFL today approved the 17-game thing. So there's going to be 17 games this year. And today we're predicting the Cleveland Browns record in 2021. And the question of the day, kind of on the topic of the video, what do you think the Cleveland Browns record will be? Comment below. And of course, throughout the video, you'll find out what we think of the Cleveland Browns and what record they'll have. But to get right started, first game here, again, no particular order in this schedule, dates yet to be announced, but we're starting with the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore.
I do think the Browns will win the division. I like them a lot this year, but in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson does have the edge on Baker and the Browns so far, and I don't think the Browns are just going to sweep them out of nowhere. I have the Ravens stealing a game from the Cleveland Browns. Lamar Jackson's still the most electric player on the field at the quarterback position when he runs the football, and I think this Browns defense is going to develop, but I just think a brand new team, new chemistry on that defense, Lamar's definitely going to be able to steal a game.
Yeah, Lamar swept him last year. I got Baker taking this game, actually, to get some revenge on Lamar for sweeping him last year. I think the Browns start off 1-0 here. Close game. Lamar plays well. Baker plays a little better. Browns take this one to start 1-0. Next game, we got the Bengals in Ohio.
I like Joe Burrow, and I wish him the best, and I think in even 2 years he could be the best quarterback in this division, but after Joe Burrow, it stops there talent-wise. Yeah, there's some and T. Higgins, but Browns just overall, their roster is pretty much spotless. I think they'll win in a dominant game over the Bengals. They beat them. They swept them last year, and the Browns just got better.
Yeah, I do. I agree the same thing. Like Joe Burrow a lot. I hope he has a good, healthy season. Not going to be enough to take the Browns down. Browns starting 2-0 for me as well, beating the Bengals. Next, we got the Ravens now in Cleveland.
Here's where the Browns split the series with the Baltimore Ravens. They will go 1-1 with them. I think they'll both win in their home stadium. I got the Browns winning in Cleveland. I think that they'll get I think both games will be great, but I do think the other one edges each other out at home. So the Browns are winning this one in Cleveland.
I actually have the Ravens taking this one, so for me, I guess the road team wins in the series between the Ravens and the Browns. I do think that the Ravens and Browns will split, but I had them winning the first one, the Browns winning the first one, because I think they start off pretty hot. But I think Lamar edges them out this time. They swept last year. I think they'll split this year. So the second game against the Ravens, I think Lamar takes, and the Browns drop the first loss of the year. Next, the second game against the Bengals, this time in Cleveland.
Yeah, nothing really changes on location when you're facing a weak Bengals roster. Same thing. I like Baker Mayfield and the Browns a lot this year. I got to make them the AFC Championship, and the Bengals team are almost going to be a bye week. It will be competitive. It's a division game, but I got the Browns.
Same, exactly. Division game. Joe Burrow hopefully makes it competitive, but I got the Browns taking this one relatively easily, a 10, 14-point win. So the Browns sweep the Bengals this year. Now, interesting game for me at least. We got the Steelers at home in Cleveland.
I feel like the past freaking decade or two, the Steelers have always been the big brother. The Browns have never been a competition. Browns have finally, though, is making a switch this year. Big Ben has taken a big drop. Steelers defense still won't make it easy, but the Browns defense is just on par with them this year. They've added players, while the Steelers, they've lost the players, and Steven Nelson and Bud Dupree. I like the Browns a lot. On defense, I think they're on par, and on offense, I think they crush the Steelers.
Yeah, I think the Steelers actually come out, and the Browns embarrassed the hell out of them last year in the playoffs. I think despite the aging Big Ben, the couple key losses on defense, or the Bud Dupree loss on defense, I do think the Steelers come out on top of this one. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think we're going to see Baker have a bad game, and the Browns might lose 2017, that type of low-scoring game. But I think the Steelers take this one. Next, we got the Broncos in Cleveland.
This game would not be fun for Baker, especially with the secondary the Broncos will put together between Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson, Kyle Fuller, Bryce Callaway, Ronald Darby. That secondary is going to be not fun. Same with Von Miller and Bradley Chubb coming to run into his face. But with the highest paid offensive line and a stout receiving core, Browns will hold their own. I think not that Vic Fangio is a bad coach in Broncos, but I think the Browns are even better coach, and I just like them all around. And Drew Lock, I still don't even know what he is. I'm going with the Baker and the safe play here.
Yeah, with that Broncos defense, you make a great point. I think Baker, it's going to take a conservative game from Baker where I think this game is a game where Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb take the reins and lead this offense to a win. I got the Browns winning this game over the Broncos, where Baker makes a few key throws but plays good football and avoids a turnover or avoids any turnovers. And I think the Browns take this one in a kind of a low-scoring game, but they come out on top over the Broncos. Now we got the Las Vegas Raiders at home again.
This is one of the games I think the Browns' defensive line finally racks up some sack numbers. The Raiders' offensive lines almost crumbled this year. They made some questionable decisions of releasing guys, and the Browns' Myles Garrett now has Malik Jackson, Sheldon Richardson, and Takkarist McKinley. I think this Browns defense is going to rack up some sacks and win a dominant game against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I think the Browns dominate. I I have good confidence in Derek Carr, but that's mainly in divisional games. I think he comes out and plays well in division games. But that O-line in Las Vegas is not good. He's got Darren Waller. He loses Nelson Aguilar. Not many people throw the ball to. I guess, what's his name? Jacobs out of the backfield is not bad, but their defense isn't good. I don't like a lot about the Raiders. I think the Browns win this one dominantly and get a lot of sacks, like Jay said. Next, we got the Chicago Bears, again at home in Cleveland.
Similar matchup, kind of like the Denver Broncos. It won't be an easy game for Baker to go off and throw 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interception. That Bears defense is well-rounded, but Andy Dalton, he should be a backup. I like Andy, but Baker, me and you just did a top 10 video. He's in our top 10 quarterbacks. Andy Dalton, he's not a starting quarterback in my opinion. So the Browns are just going to win this strictly due to even a QB matchup.
Yep, I think this is going to be a very similar win like I described over the Broncos. Relatively low scoring. Baker plays solid, efficient football, no turnovers, and the running backs of the Browns, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, take the reins and lead this Browns team to a win over Chicago, even though they have a very solid defense. And Andy Dalton could be good, but I doubt it. Now we got the Detroit Lions in Cleveland.
This is a matchup where we see a Super Bowl contending team, Cleveland Browns, that I think will make an AFC championship versus a Detroit Lions that will be fighting for a top 3 pick in the NFL draft. And that is enough said. Browns winning this one.
Yeah, the Browns, if I'm a Browns fan, I'm hoping to see them stomp the Lions. I think they should and they could. I think they could and they should. Next, we got the Texans in Cleveland again.
Pretty much ditto. Same thing I just said. Of course, if Deshaun Watson miraculously a Houston Texan next year, this is a whole different conversation. But the way it's looking, he's either not playing in Houston or he's going to prison, one way or the other. Even if he is back, I don't think Deshaun last year, even when he did play, he was 4-12 against his Browns team that just got even better. I like the Browns to win this one in a pretty dominant game.
Now, somehow last year, the Texans defense really shut down the Broncos.
Wasn't it like a 9-3 game?
It was 10-7.
Yeah.
Texans defense somehow shut down the Browns offense. If not for a late 65-yard Nick Chubb touchdown, Texans win last year's game 7-3. So I think that was weird. I do think that this will be kind of a weird game again, but I got the Browns taking this over the Texans. Texans probably won't win this game, but they somehow managed to be in it last year. But again, I got the Browns over Houston. Now we got Browns at Packers at Lambeau.
I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to steal a game from the Cleveland Browns here. I just think Browns are going to hit a good stretch of playing a lot of weak teams, and this big Aaron Rodgers team is going to catch them off guard. Not to say they won't hold their own and they won't make it a good game, and Aaron Rodgers won't be rattled by Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward and John Johnson and Troy Hill. I just think this will be a through-the-air game, and I like Aaron Rodgers through the air better than Baker Mayfield. But if it turns out into a snowy game in Lambeau and it's on the ground, I like Aaron Jones, but I'm going to take the best backfield in the NFL in that case. But more likely than not, I'm going through the air, and I think Aaron Rodgers steals the game.
I think Packers take this one over the Browns. I think the Packers will be typical Packers 13-14 win team. Despite however they do in the playoffs. The regular season, the Packers are good. I expect Rodgers and Devontae Adams to be hot right now. So I think the Packers outthrow the Browns in this game and they take it from them. And now we got the Chiefs at Arrowhead.
Browns are going to be looking for vengeance all year against this game. They had a good chance of beating the Chiefs last year in the playoffs. They got what they wanted, to take the best player on the field out of the game, but it's not going to matter. I'm going to roll with the best quarterback in the NFL, arguably the best receiving core in the NFL, a top 3 coach in the NFL. The Chiefs are just a dynasty in the making. I got to go with the Chiefs here.
Yeah, beating the Chiefs in the regular season is like one of the hardest things to do right now in football. I think the Browns fall again to the Chiefs, take 2 losses in a row for the Packers and the Chiefs. And I think what this will do is set up a third rematch in the playoffs where the Browns have the edge of third time's the charm, which might change things.
Yeah.
But I think in the regular season, Chiefs take this one. Now we got the Chargers at SoFi.
Predicted the Chargers lose to the Browns and the Chargers record, and I got to stand by that. I like the Browns all around. I do think Justin Herbert is better than Baker Mayfield straight up, but outside of the QB matchup, it pretty much ends there. I like Joey Bosa, but he's kind of alone. Myles Garrett, the pass rush wins, the secondary wins currently, and depth chart-wise, I do think the Chargers develop in the draft. But right now, looking at the teams, the Browns easily outmatch them all around.
Yeah, you nailed it. Browns outmatch the Chargers overall. Secondary, pass rush, backfield 100% for sure. So I got the Browns taking this one over the Chargers, led by a big running game from the Browns. Next, we got the Vikings in Minnesota.
Vikings, I think, is a possible playoff team next year, but Kirk Cousins, if this is a Monday night or Sunday night football game, don't even watch. If you're a Vikings fan, you will lose. So overall, I do think...
But if Kirk wins, then the Browns' playoff hopes are done.
Yeah, we know the Kirk Cousins Super Bowl curse, but I think when you have a Baker versus a good defense and a Kirk Cousins versus a great defense, I'm going to go Baker in the backfield he can rely on versus Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I like Troy Hill and Denzel Ward to kind of eliminate Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Of course, they do No, they don't have Kyle Rudolph anymore. Dalvin Cook, good
Irv
running back.
Smith, though, they released Kyle Rudolph because Irv Smith, their tight end's pretty good.
So I'm saying that the Browns defense should be able to immobilize the Vikings pass attack, and then you cancel out that Dalvin Cook versus Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I like the Browns overall. My point is I think the Browns are going to take this game. They run the ball better, and I do think they can throw the ball better. So I got the Browns over the Vikings. Now we got the Patriots at Gillette Stadium.
I do think the Browns all around will win this game, and I do think it'll be an ugly game. Bill Belichick always gives them hell. We thought first year Baker was there, OBJ was there, Nick Chubb was there. Browns finally going to steal one from the Patriots, but it doesn't happen, and I think this year they finally will. Like I said, it's going to be an ugly game, but I'm really counting on the Browns because I don't know what Cam Newton is.
Yeah, I got the Browns taking this game, but it's going to take a good game from Baker Mayfield. I've said several times so far that I think the backfield will carry them. I said that over the Broncos, I said it over the Bears. But I think this is a game that Baker Mayfield needs to come to play. I think Bill Belichick will have some sort of game plan cooked up that'll come straight at his, young, immature play style possibly. But I think Baker comes out, has a big game, and throws the ball well and beats the Patriots. Next, we got the second matchup with the Steelers, this time in Pittsburgh.
Like I said, I do think the Browns are finally going to be the big brother over the Steelers for now, and I don't think the Steelers will make it easy by any means, but I got the Browns winning this game. Like I said, defense are both on par, and I like the Browns' offense over the Steelers' offense.
Yeah, I had the Steelers taking the first matchup in this two-game series here. No way the Browns let themselves get swept. I got the Browns over the Steelers in the second matchup. I think Big Ben's age will really come to show this game late in the season. Next and lastly, the 17th game of the year, Arizona Cardinals.
This is probably my favorite matchup just because it's so
weird. Yeah.
It's an odd match.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a big one. But yeah. I got a pocket pass from Baker Mayfield versus a Kyler Murray who can't stay in the pocket, and they both have question marks. Will the help that Myles Garrett got on defense be big? Will AJ Green to the Cardinals be big?
JJ be big?
It's a big question mark for both teams, but the Cardinals have more question marks. J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, Malcolm Butler, Browns, they're all around pretty solid. They're well coached. Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals, this might be his last year as a coach. So all around, better roster and better coaching staff. I'm going to go with the Browns.
Yeah, all good points. I'm going with the Browns as well over the Cardinals. I do think the Cardinals started off hot last year, but by the end of the season, they were much worse than they were earlier in the year. So I expected maybe a similar thing to happen. It's going to be late in the season. I think the Cardinals will be kind of falling off at this point. I think the Browns will be heating up for the playoffs. So I got the Browns in this game. Those are our predictions for the record, which leads us back to the question of the day, where we asked you guys to comment your expected records, which leads us to tell you guys ours. I got 13-4.
I got 14-3 in an AFC Championship.
I got an AFC Championship appearance. Can't really decide what's going to happen from there. Will they move on to the Super Bowl? I don't know, but I have a great season coming for the Browns, and so does Jay. Guys, thanks for watching. 2-Minute Warning.